TUF 10 finale, trainer to the stars. Are you training everyone on this card?
Well, at least half of them, I guess. Yeah, for some reason. Yep. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. You know, I really enjoy the training process. It's the most I've ever done on one card, so it'll be an interesting night. We got all the coaches are here except Fidas and John Dinar, so we're only missing two. So we got a lot of support, and it should be good.
How do you keep it straight? How do you make sure that each guy's getting the proper attention? Or do they have to understand that, hey, you know, Greg might work a lot with 3 guys, 2 might not get the same attention?
I stay drunk most of the time, and that pretty much handles the whole thing. No, you know, it's really just a process of organization to make sure everybody gets what they need. And there's such great coaches that work with me that I'm really lucky. You know, I'm the luckiest trainer in the world because I have people that I feel are a lot better than me helping me out. So it's kind of, that part's good.
Any surprise that Schaub's the guy who made it through?
No, we've been training him for a while, and I was very confident in him.
Yeah. Why is that?
You know, he combines a lot of elements. He's got a really good mental game. He's tough. He hits like a truck, and he just keeps improving. But it's the mental game that really impresses me with him, because he's really tough, and even when he's getting beat down a little bit, he'll come back strong. So I think that's going to be a big factor in the Saturday night's fight.
So what's the biggest thing when you're fighting a guy like Roy Nelson, who, you know, I don't want to read too much into it because, again, I do think he got favorable matchups against guys who were not great ground guys, so maybe he can't take Brendan down. But is that the biggest thing, or, you know, does Roy pose an equal threat on the feet?
I wouldn't say an equal threat. His ground is better than his standing, but he actually hits pretty hard, too. He hit James McSweeney with a nice overhand right. So, you know, we're taking all areas very seriously. And he's got a ton of experience. That's what he's really got. You know, he's fought in other organizations, and so he's got this depth to him that he really knows what to do and how to keep that pressure on. So we'll have to neutralize that.
All right. Well, how do you think he does?
How do I think who does? Brendan?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're in it to win it. So, yeah, it's something that I'm hoping will really showcase both fighters, because I like Roy a lot. I'm hoping to showcase both fighters, but, you know, Brendan's my guy. He's been my guy for a while, and I really hope he wins. All
right. McSweeney's been around the camp for a while. I remember seeing him doing the warm-ups before the Evans-Machida fight. What do you think about his performance on the show in general? I thought in the fight against Nelson, he did a good job of moving. He was elusive. I think he was confusing him, but not a ton of punching power. I might be wrong. Maybe Roy has a monster chin, and then he just got a little, you know, discombobulated on the ground.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. There's been 2 or 3 fights in my camp now, including Rashad. We've been doing a little too much talking and a little too much, oh, come get me. Leonard Garcia, Manny Gambirian, another great example of that, where we're winning the first round and a half, and then we decided to try to make it a slugfest for some reason that will always elude me. And I think it's that I wouldn't say a disease, but that problem right now that I'm having to address with all my fighters, to make sure that, you know, we're not in there to say, oh, you didn't hurt me and come on and come get me, and, you know, that kind of stuff. We want to keep it a little more serious. And I think it was one of those things when he got hit once, he decided to stand, oh, you want to hit me, well, I'm going to hit you back, and that's not a really smart idea. So it's one of those things that I'm trying to fix at the core level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully, because James has all the potential in the world. He hits like a freight train when he's not on the move.
Mm-hmm. How do you fix it? I mean, is it fire and brimstone? You're yelling at guys. You're trying to get more cerebral? Because obviously they're emotional when they're doing it.
Right. It's always more cerebral. I mean, it's basically how I would want somebody to talk to me. Listen, if you do that, you're going to lose. So if you want to do it, that's fine. You're going to lose the fight, but go ahead. I mean, but it's really, and it's their choice. You know what I mean? You can be like, if I see you do that again, it's like telling an addict, you know what, you need to get off drugs. It's just not going to happen. But if you're like, you're an idiot and you're going to die, that's the way I come at it.
I like that approach. Almost make them feel like they're being stupid.
That's what my dad used to do to me. Worked pretty well.
Dads are good like that. Absolutely. Ren is in. Intriguing guy. I heard some good things about him. He rolled with Frank Mir months ago, and Frank said, a really solid clinch guy, good on the ground. He seems to have a lot of upside, and what's his missing element, the stand-up?
You know, actually, stand-up isn't bad either. I mean, it's not as good as his grappling, but experience is his. He's had 10 fights or so, and I want him. He's got to take that next step up. You know, that next big step. But what a good guy he is. Incredibly talented. As long as he stays focused, the sky's really the limit for him as well. So I'm hoping to have. He's got a really tough fight with John Madison. That guy's a monster. So it's going to be one of the toughest fights of the evening, and I'm really excited to see what he does when put under that pressure.
Why is Madison a monster? I think maybe a lot of people didn't get to see exactly who he is and his background and his strength and his power.
He's a phenomenal wrestler, very strong, can take anybody down, and has good ground and pound as well. So, you know, he's one of those guys that's just he's technical, but he's also he's got it. He's the fighter. He's the kind of guy, and so it'll be interesting to watch those two go at it.
So you say all the time, you get fighters and you make them better, but you got to have something to work with. And a guy like GSP, he makes you look great. Like I'm not going to take too much credit. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you get that feeling at all with the beginning of the molding process with John Jones? I mean, can he be that good? Because he's looked unbelievable, and he's so new to the sport, and I think raw.
Yeah. No, there is a lot of that, but a lot. There's like I say, there's many a slip between a cup and a lip. I've seen talent you wouldn't believe come through my school, but they couldn't stay focused. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that. So yeah, he has all the potential in the world to be one of the absolute best. If he can hold that, his current maturity, if he can hold his current focus, then absolutely. But he's 22 years old, so he's going to have to prove to everybody just how good he is. And I believe in my heart that he has the ability to go all the way to do everything he can possibly do. But it's as long as he stays focused.
Yep. You know what? This is one of those fights. Matt Hamill. Every time I get ready to pick, a fight with Matt Hamill, I'm like, one-trick pony, not that good, makes mistakes, drops his hands, stands up too much, and then he wins.
Right.
Every time.
And he's a grinder. He does what he does, and he does it really well. He's very, very strong. Mistakes on other people don't look so bad on him, and so it's a very big threat. Probably one of the biggest threats that John Jones has faced, just because he's so strong and he's so relentless.